Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7:03. Can I get a roll call, please?
Student Trustee Alvarado.
Present.
Student Trustee Aulacau. Student Trustee Gervasio.
Present.
Trustee Tejada.
Here.
Trustee Lee.
Here.
Trustee Walker.
Here.
Vice President Gallegos.
Here.
President Salahuddin.
Here. Thank you. Before we get started with the approval of the agenda, I would just like to take a moment and see if you can join me in a moment of silence. Our community lost a soul, Evan Schaefer, who was a student at Terra Nova High School. I'm just wanting to send thoughts and prayers to his family and the Pacifica community. So if you can all join me in a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Unless there are any changes, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
I'm sorry, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
With that, unless there is any changes, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of November 19th?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so now we're going to move over to the section about me, and I've been told that I need to turn the meeting over to Superintendent Presta.
Thank you so much. So the district would like to honor Board Trustee Kaleema Salahuddin tonight for her commitment and service to JUHSD students and community. Vice President Gallegos will begin in a few minutes by presenting a resolution to President Salahuddin, and then we will provide time for the superintendent's comments. After that, we're going to welcome our elected officials who have some commendations for Kaleema. And after that, we will open it up for the community to share their thanks and comments. Right now, I'm going to turn the floor over to Vice President Gallegos so that he may present the resolution.
On behalf of JUHSD students, staff, and fellow board members, we'd like to present Kaleema with this award. As well as a resolution recognizing Kaleema, which I will be reading. So bear with me. All right. Recognizing Kaleema. Whereas Kaleema, can you pronounce your last name for me correctly? Salahuddin was appointed to our Jefferson Union High School District Board of Trustees on June 19th, 2012, and served the students, staff, and community of our district until December 3rd, 2024. A tenure of 12 years, 6 months, and it just says and. Whereas during her tenure, her work directly impacted the lives of 12,023 graduates of Jefferson Union High School District. And whereas her dedication to the community started and continues to be fueled by her love for her children, whom she raised as a single mother, and whereas as a single mother, she and her children endured homelessness in order for her to afford health care for her autistic child, and through continued involvement in the schools advocating for special education students, she was driven to found Saving Pacifica Schools, a grassroots political action committee which acted as a voice for parents and students in Pacifica School District and Jefferson Union High School District locally and in Sacramento. And whereas she spearheaded campaigns and mobilized parents, teachers, staff, students, and community members to help pass numerous funding measures for Pacifica School District and Jefferson Union High School District. And whereas she recognized her leadership, tireless efforts, and dedication, she was inducted into the 2018 San Mateo County Women's Hall of Fame. And whereas during the COVID-19 pandemic, with her unwavering passion to help others, especially those communities often overlooked in the North County and dissatisfied with the county's response to provide COVID-19 testing, she virtually single-handedly brought COVID-19 testing to the North County, running the testing sites with her children and members of Faith in Action, collecting and transporting specimens herself. And whereas, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, she co-founded REACH Coalition, San Mateo County, and the coalition of elected officials and community-based organizations of color in San Mateo County United, who are steadfast in dismantling systemic bias and longstanding barriers to access across the country or county. And whereas she has served for many years on the Delegate Assembly of California School Boards Association. And whereas for the past 8 years, she has been a member of the board's facilities subcommittee, which was responsible for the development of the district's faculty and staff housing project at 705 Ceremony, housing 25% of the staff. And whereas her Herculean work on the same subcommittee has led to the City of Daly City's approval of the master plan for the district's Ceremony Del Rey neighborhood, which will have an additional 1,100 units of housing and 20% affordable and 80% market rate, and generate needed revenues for the district. And whereas she was part of the subcommittee that attended CSBA's first equity cohort in 2018 and was instrumental in introducing equity work to the district and the San Mateo County School Boards Association. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Jefferson Union High School District Board of Trustees and District Administration extend their heartfelt gratitude to Kalima Salahuddin, sorry, Kalima, for her extraordinary service, leadership, and contributions. Her indelible mark on our district will be remembered with admiration and respect. But it further resolved that we expressed our deepest appreciation for her tireless advocacy and wish her continued success and fulfillment as she continues her journey of service and dedication to her community and the pursuit of social justice. Passed and adopted on this 3rd day of December, 2024.
So now we're going to take a few minutes for the student trustees and the essentially the people up here at the podium to say words about Kalima, if they would like. Should we start? Natalia, would you like to start?
Hi. So yes, I would just like to say that one of the greatest memories I will always take with me and within my heart is when in one board meeting like this one, you just mentioned how you wanted to hear more about us, the students, and that just got into my heart because it just showed how passionate you are and you just want to hear other perspectives to do a change. And it was just heartwarming knowing that our voice actually mattered to you guys. So thank you so much.
I just want to say to Natalia, like, she is a powerhouse. A powerhouse. And of course, we want to make a seat for you, young lady. Of course. We are a better district hearing your perspective and your wisdom at this young age. So thank you so much for the honor of your wisdom and voice.
Are there other student trustees who'd like to speak?
Yeah.
Alaya?
It has been so amazing to serve under you. And with you here, the district has made so many new amazing adjustments and programs that I know, like as a student board member, that the students really do need and appreciate. And even projects like the Ceremony Del Rey project, like I have never seen a school district do something like that. It's extremely new. And I love the way that it has really put our district forward, and you've made me so proud to serve as a student trustee.
So same, right back at you. I'm just gonna say that I'm continually inspired by our student trustees, and that it was one of our missions as a board to have more students have more of an impact And to see all of us up here at a dais and having you join us has just been the fulfillment of my dream. So thank you. Back to you too.
Any other student trustees? Adam.
But yeah, I also want to say I'm kind of a younger person on this board, but hearing about all the effort and time that you've put into this district, I really been inspired by especially work during the pandemic. I know that's a really challenging time for a lot of people, and I really want to appreciate you for taking the time to really, I guess, genuinely make an impact on this community. And just like Alea, I'm very grateful to be able to serve under you as a student trustee.
Thank you and welcome. You're going to do great stuff, I know.
And Daniel?
President Kalima.
That's good, yeah.
Kalima. I'm so insanely sorry, but
No, you're okay.
we've never had a direct interaction, as I've only been here as a student trustee for Thorin for a few months. But I just want to say, like, hearing about all these things that you've done, and like, it's just amazing just to be able to hear it all. And I assume a lot of the good things about our entire district and each school is because of you and your decision making. So I just want to say thank you for that. And I can't stress this enough, the fact that I'm like sitting up here with someone with such powerful aura as you, such a high position. It's just, as an adult, it may vary for all of you because you're already grown up, but as a child, it's like, wow. I can't, it's just so amazing. Like, I thought Miss Presto was powerful.
Yes, she is. She is. Yeah.
But then there's you. So it's just,
Thank you.
so yeah, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done. And yeah.
And I want to thank you because we don't have 4 high schools, we have 5. And I'm so happy that we now truly have representation from all of our high schools and that you're here representing Thornton. So thank you so much.
Are there any board members who'd like to speak?
I'd like to speak.
Great. Go for it.
I just don't want to go after everyone else. I will keep it short. Kalima, congratulations on your accomplishments, and thank you for your leadership. Even before I came to the board 2 years ago. I'm extremely proud of the way you represented our students, frequently our most vulnerable population of students every time. I don't have an adjective. I'd like to mention, the effect you've had as a board member and as a parent at the same time. That's, one reason I got involved, one reason I'm staying involved, because I want to have that same kind of influence, have a parental influence on what we're doing. And I think everyone who's on the board's had that experience. I want to thank you for your mentorship of me as a baby board member, which I am not anymore. And there's something about that phrase, powerful aura, that I really liked.
I'm going to get a shirt.
So thank you and congratulations. And we'll be following you along.
I'm actually going to read something I wrote because I always try to come off the cuff and I forget what I want to say. So I know you just heard me read a bunch, so I'm sorry you're going to hear me read a little bit more. Kalima, as you prepare to conclude your remarkable 12-year tenure on our school board, I want to express my deepest gratitude for your unwavering dedication and your tireless efforts. You have been an inspiration to us all, consistently demonstrating a passion for education and a commitment to our students. Your insightful leadership, coupled with your unwavering work ethic, has significantly shaped the trajectory of our school district. Through countless hours of dedicated service, you have made significant sacrifices to ensure that our students receive the best possible education. Your vision and your guidance have led to numerous improvements in all of our schools, and we are incredibly fortunate to have had you as a board member. As you embark on this new chapter, we wish you all the best. Your legacy will continue to inspire us, and we are eternally grateful for your invaluable contributions to our community. I want to take a moment to personally express my sincere gratitude for the time we've spent working together on the school board. Although it's been short, your influence has been truly remarkable. You have consistently led by example, and not just as a board member, but as an outstanding member of our community, as a strong woman, and as a mother to your children. Your commitment to fighting for equity and equality has inspired me and those around you to continue our efforts, even if it's like one increment or one meeting at a time. The work we do here is vital for the betterment of our future, for our youth, and your dedication makes a significant difference. Your powerful, positive energy, as everybody speaks of, will be truly missed. Thank you for your friendship, your guidance, and your unwavering support. It's meant a great deal to me and has enriched my experience as a fellow board member. Wishing you lots of love and all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Where to begin, Kalima? I'm going to start with the number 12,023. All four of us up here have graduates of this district who are part of that 12,023, including yourself. And that, in and of itself, is an incredible legacy. Think about, I mean, that's larger than the population of Half Moon Bay. You know, I still remember in the summer of 2014, I received an email out of the blue from Kalima. Hey, have you thought about running for school board? And I remember sitting in the living room, looked at my wife's page, and I go, check out this email. And actually, the funny thing she said was, you know, let's have the conversation. And, you know, if we have the opportunity to take care of the kids in our community, we should. So we had that conversation. And I remember we were at a restaurant in Pacifica. We had dinner. And Kalima just said, oh, you know, it's only going to be 2 meetings a month.
That's where that came from.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, I did lose that election in 2014, but we stayed in touch over the course of the next year. And when a board member stepped down in late 2015, Kalima called and said, hey, you still interested? You want to apply? And sure enough, November 2015, this body appointed me to the board. And we've really never looked back because, yeah, those 2 meetings a month became many different sorts of kinds of meetings each month because my time on the board has been completely intertwined with Kalima very specifically because the two of us served together on the facility subcommittee that built 705 ceremony and on the subcommittee that did a lot of the work on Ceremony Del Rey, and there were city 2x2s, you know, with Daly City and with Brisbane, and then there were all those car rides to Sacramento when we were both on the equity subcommittee and worked and were part of the California School Boards Association equity cohort. And we were part of the first cohort to do it in the fall of 2018. And there was so much teaching and mentoring that went on in those rides. And the weekends that we spent in Sacramento, learning from other school board members, but especially learning from each other. And I remember I had my aha moment with the budget one day during one of those meetings, and Kalima looked at me and she just smiled. And was, you got it, you got it. And there was just this excitement because it takes a while to really get it when you don't know anything about public education, as we've learned. So all this is to say, I am so proud of you. I am so proud to call you not just a board sister, but my sister, a dear, dear friend. We've argued like siblings too, by the way. But really, I've grown up as a board member because of you. and with you. And I'm so proud to have had the impact on our students alongside you. And I am so incredibly proud of the work you've done. And I know you're going to do such amazing work ahead. It's not over. I know that. It's just going to be in a different phase. So thank you. And I love you.
I love you too.
I told myself I wasn't going to cry right away until they started reading the resolution, and I wrote part of it. You've mentored so much of us. You started mentoring me before I came on the board. And the first time I met you, I was a really active PTA parent in Jefferson Elementary. And I had my son was a sophomore at Westmore, Evan. And they were running a parcel tax. So I went to a volunteer meeting and there you were. And the word, this dynamo, I said, who is this woman? My God, she's captivating. And then you scared me because you expected us to make phone calls. I mean, just call strangers and say, vote for us. And I said, I'm a proper Filipino woman. I cannot just go and, impose on people at home. And I didn't volunteer. I held signs. I couldn't make the phone calls. But then a few months later, somehow, the superintendent at Jefferson Elementary talked me into running a bond measure. And I felt way over my head. And I reached out to you. And you met me at Starbucks. And I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but now it's not just PTA I'm at. There's a whole community relying on me to pass this bond for the schools. And I feel like I'm going to mess it up. And you talked me into, you told me when I first started out going to board meetings in Pacifica, I didn't know what was going on. I was there to fight for my son. And then I was there to fight for the rights of other parents of special education students. And I learned along the way. So I've been there. I didn't know anything. And I thought, if you could say that to me, I have a chance here. I'm not going to mess this up. And that was the pep talk I needed, to hear from you that you didn't know anything when you started. And then within a year, I was on the board. But you also tried to get me to run, and I was like, I don't know if I can do it. But the more I got involved in the schools and the districts, I felt like it was the natural progression for me to go for an appointment to an open seat.
And you forgot to mention you won the bond.
I did. I won the bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, we built some schools with that bond. And in the first few years together, we would be on the phone for hours, first talking about school board, and then always evolving into our children, our families, and you've helped me so much to raise my children. Also I'm a single mom, and so it's really hard. And just, me trying to learn what it's like to be on school board. And I just remember some of those meetings we'd be in and I would get heated and you're like tapping me under the table, like, calm down, and later on go, you need to calm down because you're winning. You're just make them think they won this, but you're winning. So just, it's okay, because I was so emotional and I learned from you, but I don't know how many people say this is going to be an end of an era. It's partly a beginning for us on the board without you, because now we're going to put into action all the things that we've learned from you. We will, but I know you're still going to be there for us. But also, there are amazing things ahead for you. And I wish I could see you on Capitol Hill one day, because
Thank you.
no, thank you. But, I guess I'll have to wait for Amira to become president, because she will. I know she will.
Yeah.
But when I nominated you for the Hall of Fame, the executive director, she said, "Thank you so much for nominating her, because she's amazing. I've never known anyone like her." I said, "Everyone needs to know Kalima." That was 2018. Everyone, and I'm shocked not everyone did, because your reach is so impactful. And that is something, you're doing really well right now, as us saying all these nice things about you, because you don't like attention. Yeah, you're a trooper right now, because you hate it. And then you're just going to get more as the evening progresses. And someone had once told me, she likes attention. I said, no, she really doesn't. She will bring attention. What she likes to do is bring attention to the things that need to be righted, the things that need to change. And if she has to put herself out there, she will. But she doesn't like that. It needs to be done. And, we're busy people. And, as single moms, people always ask us, I don't know how you do it. And I know it's just you do it because you have to do it. But the only way you ever slow down is if your body gives out and you're sick. And last week, the last board meeting, you were still here. You were sick, but you were still leading the meeting, still making an impact. And, it's not good, but I'm going to be seeing you around. But you have changed my life so much, and I love you.
Oh, it's make sure I don't.
Okay, so I also helped write the resolution of written cards and this and that. So I'm not quite sure what's going to come out of my mouth now, because there are so many things that I want to say. But Kalima, I first met you, Kalima, when you came when I was superintendent in the Brisbane district, one of our partner districts. And it was the first time I ever had a board member from another school district call me to meet with me, to find out how we could forge relationships and find out about our programs. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll meet with you. And so I met you, I don't even know what year it was. It was a long time ago.
2013.
2013, yeah, it was a long time ago. And so I welcomed you into my office and we talked about, Brisbane and our kids coming to JUHSD. And I left that meeting thinking, wow, she's super impressive, So that was our introduction. And then years passed and I left Brisbane and went to another school district and then joined JUHSD. And I just don't know how to express how grateful I was for how you welcomed me to our district. I really didn't think, I had grown up in Brisbane. I had student taught and was a principal and superintendent. And I never thought that I would ever really find something that I felt that connected to again. I just kind of had resigned. I was done with that phase of my career, but I thought, I'm never going to have that. And I have that and more here in JUHSD. And you were really key, an instrument in welcoming me and making me really feel wanted and like I had something to give. And the reason that I'm superintendent really is like conversations that I had with you, and you said the board and I are interested in you being the interim superintendent. Are you interested in that? And I said yes. And actually, I'm interested in being the superintendent.
Oh my God, thank you.
So it was that was so impactful for me. And what I knew already, because I'd been here for a couple of years, is that you and your colleagues were leading our district with a very strong lens of equity. And that is what that's where I want to be and where I wanted to be. And as a superintendent, you have made it possible for us, for the executive cabinet, the principals, the teachers, the classified staff, for us to do the work that we need to do for our students, because you know that that's right and you have our backs. As evidenced by a resolution that we're going to pass later tonight, you have the backs of all of us, of the students and the staff. And we've taken all these trainings, Brene Brown, et cetera, clear as kind. You are a really beautiful example of that, like really speaking truth where it needs to be spoken. I also want to mention, I'm going to ramble on, so I'm going to cut myself off, but I also want to mention, I'm really glad that Natalia brought up the fact that she felt, like it was okay and wanted for her as a student to speak at board meetings. And, honestly, there are some times when I'm like, oh, wait a minute, are you sure we want to have the group of kids talking about this? And Kalima's like, yeah, let's bring them up. Let's let them talk about it. So it's very important for our students to have a voice. It's very, very important. And it's not always easy. Sometimes it's a bit of, it's like, oh, we're going to do this. And you have helped me to see at times, make sure that the student's voice is primary. So thank you for that. So I just want to thank you for really being the guiding light in our school district for many years. I share Rosie's sentiment of and others that now we're going to be on our own to keep it moving forward. And you've also given a compliment that I really took to heart. You've said this a few times, that you feel like you can move on because we're okay now. Like we've got it. We're going to be good. And so thank you for that vote of confidence. And I assure you that I and all of us are going to do our very best for our kids. Thank you, Kalima.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're going to wait until you get a real big chance to speak, Kalima. We're going to let other people speak to you. And so now we've got some people that are here to present some awards to Kalima, and I see a couple of you in the audience. I see Supervisor Noelia Corzo, and we've got the resolution, and so I'm going to hand it to you. And if you want to go to the podium, you can talk to Kalima.
Thank you. I am here on behalf of the County Board of Supervisors, and Tony is here representing Supervisor Canepa, who couldn't be here today. But I probably want to end with my comments. Do you want to say a few things, Tony?
Yes, I'll say so.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Kalima. How are you? Well, first of all, I just want to say this. Kalima, I met you almost 10 years ago. And when I first met you, I said to myself, God, she is so special. You are inspirational, okay? And after seeing the years go by, all you've done for the community, all the flowers are yours. They are just yours. One more quick story. You inspired me, and I'm gonna tell you how. A couple of years ago, we were at some kind of event, and on the wall was a gender neutral sign, bathroom, okay? And I said to myself, and the way you looked and you touched it and you said, thank you. That inspired me, because just when I started at the county, our bathrooms were not gender neutral, none of it on the first floor. And so because of that, I opened my mouth and said, hey, what's going on here? We got to speak up, and you done that, okay? You helped me, and you helped me speak up. And Kalima, thank you so much on behalf of the county. But now,
well, really quickly, I just want to say to you, Tony, that we had lots of meetings for Ceremony Del Rey. We had a meeting with Supervisor Canepa explaining it, and meeting with elected officials were tough. And I remember after that meeting, you came up to me and you said, keep fighting, hang in there. And that meant so much to me. So thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Whew. Let's see if I can make it through this without crying. I'll do my best. Kalima. It's probably fitting that I'm like seeing your head pop out of a bunch of flowers here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being unapologetically who you are and being an example to follow for all women, for all people, but specifically for women of color and people of color, for speaking your truth as a Black woman, as a Black mother here in our county, for not just sharing your courage and your wisdom, but also for being an example to follow of what it looks like to be a vulnerable truth teller in public office. You have led with your heart and you have shared your pain. So that the drive that you have to transform our systems into systems that support all to learn and thrive can be shared by everyone and not just by certain parts of our community. The forgiveness and grace that you extend to others has deeply impacted me and who I am as a leader. Thank you for modeling what it looks like to be a true equity champion. Thank you for being my mentor and for taking many, many of my calls when I was in tears, when I was overwhelmed with righteous anger, and when I wanted to quit. Thank you for being the voice of reason and convincing me not to quit also. I remember when I met you and you weren't supposed to be my mentor, but you spoke your truth and it resonated with me. And so I made sure you were my mentor. But your leadership honestly is so unique and not just inspiring, but like very grounding for others. And again, the grace and forgiveness that you extend to others, I don't even know where you find it at times, to be honest with you. But I'm so grateful for it and for your vulnerability and for who you are as a person. I'm personally committed to continuing to honor and expand on your legacy. And I will probably still call you when I'm crying and overwhelmed with anger for many, many years to come. Thank you for believing in me and supporting me when I had the crazy idea of running for county supervisor. But I'm truly honored to know you, to be your mentee for life. And more importantly, for being your friend. And now I'll share with one of my favorite quotes that I think you embody perfectly. It's by Leela Watson, and here it goes. If you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. Gracias, hermana. Okay.
And before we break for the sweets, we'll take some photos. Does that sound good? You're allowed to go give a hug.
Okay.
Yeah. It's your night. Okay, thanks. I don't know.
There you go.
Okay, next, I would like to call up Mr. David Baruto to present a resolution from the California Legislature. Do you want me to keep this up here and just?
Keep up there.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board. My name is David Baruto. I'm the District Office Director for Assemblymember Diane Pappen. But more importantly than who I am, I'm here to represent actually all 5 members of our legislative delegation who have signed on to that resolution. And that's a little bit unusual. I want you to understand that because we have different districts and we may only have a slice or not of any other jurisdiction where we come to honor retiring local elected officials. But that speaks to the admiration and respect that you command in this county. You know, your work has been enumerated in that resolution, but you know, that's just the tip of the iceberg, and we all know that. You know, I know that personally because I've worked in a couple different capacities over the years, and occasionally I'd get a call from Kalima. You know, we need a bus. County messed up our ballot. And, you know, but because we have such respect, the only answer is, what do you need us to do? We're on it. And those are the things that the broader community doesn't get to hear about necessarily. Certainly the big things are tremendous. I mean, the staff housing and the market rate housing, the low income housing, I mean, that's just mind-blowing stuff. I was actually in the board chambers 12 and a half years ago when you were sworn in. I took that little picture of you with your hand up, probably on a BlackBerry, maybe a flip phone, I don't know. And we had really high hopes, and you really just blew them out of the water. You know, the things that you have done as a school board member and really a civic activist in this county are just really nothing short of amazing. And for the rest of the board, I mean, you know quite well, you know, being a school board member is a little unique in local government because unlike other agencies, everything that happens in the outside world comes into your schoolhouse. You have to deal with it very directly. And that is something you've taken on in every way, meeting the needs of the students, the families, the faculty, the staff. It's a very challenging thing to do, and this community is so much better off having you had being a leader here. I know you hate taking personal credit, and it's true it was done in collaboration, all these things, but you were the leader in a lot of these things. Every engine needs a piston, and that's what you were, and what you will be, I'm sure, going forward in other endeavors. But your impact has just been absolutely tremendous. And I also enjoyed our friendship personally over the years, whether that was dinners after Democratic committee meetings or watching really stupid Godzilla movies.
Yes, that movie was awesome, David.
So we know, you know, we're still going to see you, but we wanted to make sure we were here to say thank you for your really profound contributions. Your service has been truly amazing, and you know, when we define school trustee, you know, your name is going to be next to it because there's no higher standard. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mayor Jesselyn Manalo is here from Daly City.
And Mayor Manalo's amazing son. Thank you so much for being so patient.
Thank you so much, Kalima. I really wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you've done for our community, especially for our children and the youth. You know, as an alumni of Jefferson Union High School District, it's tremendous to see such a fierce leader like yourself really look at a vision for long term. And so as I stand here with my son, Ethan, it's really the work that you all have done for the future generation who's going to be in Jefferson Union High School District. And I know that it is really through your fierceness, your vision, and being able to really push for what's needed in our communities, especially in JUHSD. So I want to say thank you. You have done so much for our communities, and really along looking at housing for our teachers and staff. And I remember when that was brought forth with you and Andy at our meeting, and that was definitely a no-brainer for those that serve our youth and community. So thank you so much. You deserve all the flowers, as everyone has mentioned. And please receive it because you deserve it.
Thank you.
I do have a certificate of commendation for you. It's with great pleasure to present this certificate to Kalima Y. Salahuddin, JUHSD Board Trustee President. The City of Daly City extends heartfelt gratitude and commends you for your outstanding service to the JUHD students, staff, and faculty. Your dedication and relentless efforts and sacrifice of time and energy is truly commendable. Signed, Mayor Manala.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you.
And we have something from Kevin Mullen's office. Is there anybody from Kevin Mullen's office here to present to Kalima? Okay, so then I'm just going to have the honor of presenting.
Oh, we don't need to read it. It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
There you go. I'm not going to read it. All right. Thank you. So now there are no more elected officials presenting. Okay. So now we're going to have.
Yes.
What?
Yes. Do you want
There
to
is a public official to present something?
Yeah. Do you just? Yeah, just
we have comments. We're gonna do comments, but I didn't know if there were certificates. Okay. So before we start the comment section, which there are a lot of people who want to make comments, we have a video comment that we're gonna play from Mary Beer. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. This is great. I like this.
Mary Beer, I'm the Director for Alcohol and Other Drug Services at the Daly City South Center, Jefferson Union High School District. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to send in a video message. You, Kalima, because I can't be there with you tonight, and I really wanted to be there. I'm at CSM right now taking my final exam because I went back to college. After a lot of years, I went back to college. And that's because there's people out there like you supporting education and inspiring education, which you have done for me and what you have done for hundreds and hundreds of our students. I want to thank you for all of your service to Jefferson Union High School District, all of the equity-based policies that you have brought forward, and staff housing, and I could go on and on. You are a treasure, and I just can't thank you enough for all of your service. And I want to thank you for inspiring me over the years and for being my friend, because I remember when I first met you, we were at a strategic planning event at IBL, and I was with my daughter and you were with your daughters, and we sat at the same table. And I was able to watch you and how engaged your daughters were. And I don't know if you knew it then, but it inspired me immediately. And so I thank you for that. I thank you for the day I saw you in the supermarket during lockdown and I couldn't hug you. I have never wanted to hug somebody so bad in my life. And I will never forget that moment. There's so many other things I want to thank you for. I want to thank you for teaching me, for being patient with me. When I told you I was running for office, you're like, city council? Why? And I was like, oh no, what am I getting myself into? And along the way, you have showed me what it means to serve my community, what it means to understand that maybe I shouldn't trust every single person that comes in my path, right? And I have to be choosy about who I bring on my teams, and I have to represent equity the very best I can, and to use my privilege to make sure that policies are passed and that people are heard. And all of that has been inspired by you. I've watched you lead your school district meetings. I've watched you in the community. I treasure you. I treasure our friendship. I cannot tell you
how much it means to me. I respect you, and we are definitely going to miss you, but I won't, because I'm coming over to have tea with you and Dana. You promised. Okay, so tea soon. Congratulations on completing your service to Jefferson Union High School District. I love you. Oh, look, that's my 3 minutes. That's great.
I love that. Okay. So a lot of people filled out comment cards, and we're going to right now, not during the normal public comment time, just call you up to speak. So first we have Hector Camacho.
Oh, no. Yeah. Hi, Hector.
It doesn't sound like
It doesn't sound like, there we go. Can I just say that this is the end because I only hang out with school board members. Oh, wait, and a supervisor, got it. No, I'm thinking about when we first met, and that was through the School Boards Association, the San Mateo County School Boards Association. And from that beginning, I think you and I shared probably a common understanding, and you represented it much more than I did. And it's the idea that revolution is not a one-time act. And those aren't my words, right? Those are one of the best philosophers of our time, Audre Lorde. And that's you, right? Revolution is not a one-time act because we live in this country, in this state, in this county, in a place where educational inequity is the air we breathe. And so it requires revolution. And you are a leader of that every single day. And you remind us that it is not a one-time act. And it has just been the greatest honor of my life to do that alongside you and with so many people in this room. And it is a collaborative effort. But I will go so far to say, and I think there will be people in this room that would agree, that you single-handedly, you alone, have done more for the children in this county, probably than anyone. More than anyone in this county. You have changed the lives of children and their lives and their families' lives. And that is something that this community is in a great deal of debt to you for. And it doesn't end today because you don't know how to do a single act. And I'm going to take advantage of that because we're going to continue this work together as a community. Even without this seat, there's lots more work to be done, and I'm just happy to do it alongside you. So thank you for your years of service.
Thank you.
Adam Cubey.
Oh my gosh. I know.
My name is Adam Cubey. I'm a teacher in this district. I'm just wanted to speak from the teacher perspective. Not every teacher is able to communicate with their school board members. And I remember I had a chance of emailing you and somebody says, yeah, she's going to respond to your email. And you did. And you came to my classroom and you listened to students. And not only did you listen to students, you gave them feedback and you told them that you were going to partner with them to be to work on their projects that they did. And not every person does that who actually meets with students and listens to them. And then the pandemic hit, and I think we were all kind of scattered, but you were like a leader in there. You just said, hey, we're going to work on these projects. And you stepped up in many ways. You worked at the food bank side by side with students and teachers and community members. And then you individually did COVID testing like 3 or 4 times a week with your family. And every time we would drive by, you would be there. And you did that to make sure that everybody had access to testing so that they could find out whether they were positive or not. And you did that individually with your family. And not many people would do that just to be there every time. And then now that we're back in school, you continue the work that you've always been doing. And as a teacher and as a staff member and a member of the community, you're not only a leader, but you're like a role model. And I think that we should all see these type of role models in our community. And I think that's very important to see that an everyday person can be a positive person to make a community change, and that we all should be doing something that's a part of what you're doing. And that if we all do that and we all take that part, that we can all work together to make those positive changes in our community. Thank you for all that work.
Thank you so much, Adam.
Emily Hansen.
Hello.
Hi, Emily.
Hi. I'm also a teacher in the district. Been a teacher here since 2007, so I've known Kalima a long time. And I work across the parking lot in our beautiful new building, working with students with disabilities. So this is what I wrote to you, Kalima. Kalima, it's hard to find the words to express my deepest gratitude for your service to our school community. Thank you for your ongoing support to the students, teachers, and staff of Jefferson Union High School District. You have always been a tremendous advocate for our students with IEPs and to the staff who work tirelessly to support these incredible students. Our new DO and adult ed buildings are a dream come true. It makes me sad to think of all the pain you had to endure for members of the community who fought against these projects, as well as the development of Ceremony Del Rey, RIP, SDR. I am so grateful that you never gave up on these projects. I will miss watching you at board meetings on our YouTube channel. You always make me cry, especially when our ATP has Student of the Month. You are a gem. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I love you. Thank you.
Tom Norris.
Okay, so Tom's going to walk up here and I'm just going to do an intro for Tom. Tom is the reason I'm a school board member. Because when I was running the parcel tax campaign and we were coming out of a meeting and there was an empty spot and Tom said, you should apply for this spot. And I was, no. And he said, no, you really should. And I told him, I'm like this all the time. And he said, that's great. That's what we want. And so I applied. So I just want to give that intro. I'm here because of Mr. Norris.
I cannot take any of the credit. This young man talked about an aura. We were in a parking lot. We were going into Oceana Market.
Yes, we were.
We were having a meeting for the parcel tax. She made us get on the phone, right? We all did. We all came, we all made the phone calls. Your daughters were there, everyone was there. Kids, students, we did the work. And it's because you were dynamic. And Superintendent Crilly and I said, wow, you know, we have a seat that's opening on the board here. Who can we put on the board that is going to really help us move things forward? But also someone that has her own mind and has her own way of liking to do things, because we saw how she worked on that parcel campaign. And you also said to me, Tom, you know what? I have my own views. You think you can live with that? And I said, yes, I can. Because by then I'd probably already been on the school board for 30 years. And so, you know, I kind of had my way of doing things as far as that goes. And Kalima came and she brought her ways as well. And Rosie was there. She saw some of that too. And it was just some of that little aura we saw then. But what you have seen over the last 10 years, you have just, wow. I mean, it was just a speck then. You have moved so forward in this community. You have done so much, so much. I don't think that anyone would ever expect that much from any one individual. And we're so grateful for that as far as that goes, you know. And I know that it's certainly not over as far as that goes. You're just going to keep going. And just as you're kind of looking at it right now, look, the things that you guys wanted to do and build, these are the things that on the school board when I was there, we just dreamed of. It wasn't our time to do it. The time was when you guys did it. And I'm so grateful that we had the leadership on this board that could carry it and make it go forward, because it wasn't an easy lift. We all know that. And you're at the front of it. And so just as when I got off the board, I said to myself, okay, I've been here a long time. I see that it's in a good place. We have good people that are going to take it forward. And so I said, it's time for me to clear out of the way and let other people take it to the next level. And that's exactly what you did. And you led the charge. And maybe you're seeing it that way now too, that the board's ready to move on and you're going to go on and do other great things. And so thank you so much for everything you've done, for being able to have worked with you and to have done the things we did together. And I wish you and your family all the best.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Miller.
Clayton Koo.
I'm in the club with you, the ex school board member club.
It's a great club. Good evening, members of the board. It's nice to see you all again. I want to take you all back to over 10 years ago, and the very first time I ever met Trustee Khalima Salahuddin. It just so happened to be actually at a high school board meeting, and she was the board president at the time as well too. I was there that night to speak about a community event taking place at Westmore High School with the American Society's Relay for Life of Daly City. I did not know ahead of time, but we were allotted only 15 minutes. And she remembers this very well, but we went way over that time limit. President Salahuddin could easily have asked us to stop talking, but she was kind enough to let us continue presenting until we had nothing else to say. 10 years later, I still can't stop talking now because I have too many incredible things to say about Khalima and what she has meant to our community and to me. I got the honor to get to work with her as a school board member for the Jefferson Elementary School District and see her firsthand the trustee and community leader she is. When she served as president of the San Mateo County School Board Association, you could sense all of her experience, knowledge, insights, and values she brought into that role to lead school board members across San Mateo County. And at the statewide level, I got to see firsthand her tireless work advocating for students and our families through the California School Board Association. And most certainly, I want to thank you for your passion and dedication to the fight to build housing for your district staff, get the Ceremony Del Rey project approved after many, many years of meetings, secure long-term stable funding for the district, and her desire to collaborate and work with every person possible across the county for the greater good of the district. I'm proud to call President Salahuddin my elected official, but also my friend. I've learned firsthand her love for all things fighting for equity, justice, and inclusion, and putting in the countless hours on campaigns and ballot measures to improve the place where she calls home. And outside of all this dedication and passion to our community is her love for all things Disney.
Of course, yeah. This is the best part of the meeting. Go ahead. Let's talk about it.
And her collection, I was going to say, of her amazing backpacks and purses she brings everywhere she goes. If you've never seen them, you should check out her. I don't know if she has tonight, but.
Oh.
Thank you for everything you have done for JUHSD and for our community for the past 12 years. Your dedication to serve us all will be greatly missed, but we know you'll be in our community putting in the good fight, however easy or hard it may be. So thank you again and congratulations.
Thank you, Clay.
Pam DiGiovanni.
Hey, Pam.
Well, where do we start? First of all, we look around here and look at all the people that you've inspired, but not just that person, but Khalima, I think we all know that you always leave the door open and you must start crying. Who started that crying? I said, because you never give up. It's something that people don't realize how hard it is to deal with when you have projects like Andy and them, and they had the vision. When you have a vision and Khalima has a vision, she knows how to get there if we just listen to her. She just wants people to. It's true.
It's so true.
It's so true.
Listen.
It's true. And she gives plenty of opportunities to listen. Am I right? All you have to do, she's telling us, like if you have any questions, if you have any reservations, because you're going to hear the truth from her. You're going to hear the truth from her. And that's not what usually you hear from elected officials. I'm telling you, I know that to be true. But But I know that if I text you or if I called you and things are going like crazy and we have to get that vision done and Andy's on board and I don't know what's happening at the ad hoc committee at all, but I know that I can contact one of you two and contact Kalima and I will get the truth and I will know that that vision is for the right reasons and it's for the goodness of our community. It's for the goodness of the district and what you transcend here as student trustees. You are witnessing something that will never be. You are lucky and blessed to have someone, and you have great leaders sitting on this board, and you have transcended Tony Presta, these great board members who have been your friends, they're your family, Clayton Koo, myself, David Baruto, so many others in this room that my heart is so full, Kalima, because I am far from perfect. But I know that the truth is what matters to you. Inclusion is what matters to you. Equity is what matters with you. All we have to do is listen and listen to your vision because we know what you're doing it for all that is good. And that transcends throughout the community, throughout the county, as Baruto said, throughout the state. Yes, the state for me. I say the state. Why do you think Kevin Mullen? We all know you on a personal level. And because you allowed us, you're an open book. More people need to be like that. We don't have to guess where you're at. We don't have to do any of that. You don't play the games that other people play with us. You're not about a title. When I saw you, and it was during as QB was saying, the pandemic, many things transcended during that time. But I'm telling you, I went by in the gym. Kalima was by herself putting the chairs up in the gym to make sure that people were going to get that testing. She had her daughters involved. And then we just all pitched in. And then Clayton showed up. And then we were like, oh, no, we got to help Kalima. I don't care if it's like pushing the chair or whatever. You got pushed back, but you pushed right back. And I like, yeah, that's it. You pushed right back. That's right. They don't want to go along with that program. It's okay. You guys can leave the gym now. It's okay. I was there.
Yes,
I was like, that's right. That's right. You just got to listen to Kalima because she's here for the goodness, right? Going to get that testing done. We don't care if it's dark at nighttime. We're going to make sure that everybody there got tested, every single person. And that is tenacity. That's for the goodness of all of us. It's a lesson for all of us to learn. And we are so lucky you're leaving such a legacy, not just in structure and architecture, but with heart and dedication for all of us to learn and for us to always be that. Yeah. And people know I'm going to be myself. It's all right. It's okay. Far from perfect, but my love for you is unwaverable. My dedication for this board, the youth, and everything about our community. It's our community. Yes. And you have transcended so much that legacy, and Dana knows, it will continue. That love, right? Yeah. Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, everybody. Disney, it's all good, right? And that all of you here know that because all that work, that foundation that all of you have, and you let people be who they are.
Yeah, but can I just tell you, Pam?
What?
Let me just tell you that, I appreciate you when you're talking about me, but you're saying testing, but it was also the vaccinations that we were there late at night and there was leftover vaccination, that you would have 10. And we drove to Lucky's and we drove to Safeway and we found people to get those 10 vaccinations. And it was because so many people know you. So I'm super appreciative of everything that you did during that time too. So thank you.
I'm humbled and grateful for your kind words too. And it's never about title. It's always about doing.
Yeah.
And so that's a testament for all of us. And I think that there are good people sitting in this room that are a testament to that. And we will continue in your honor. Yep. And you ain't going too far.
No, I'm not. Right, but
you're reeling it in.
Okay.
Reeling it in. And thank you to the student trustees. It's all about truth. No matter what you do, you stand in your truth. I'm telling you, they can come at you. They can do whatever.
Pam, we're going to wrap you up. We're going to wrap you up, Pam. I love you. Thank you.
She can do that. She's the president. Teresa Proaño.
Teresa
Are you,
had to
is she
leave.
still
Yeah.
okay? Teresa had to leave. Sorry. Okay, Carla Ian Garrett.
Okay.
I could not go after Pam. How do you top that? Well, I got the invitation saying that it was your last board meeting. And, it's been a long time since I've been on the other side, and I had to come and definitely celebrate you because it's definitely past my bedtime now. And, I don't say it for anybody, but I also want to, it's been a long time. Public speaking is a little rough for me at this moment, but I just want to celebrate you and thank you for all the impact that you have made in my life. Other people have known you for a long time, but the 4 years that we had to do this work together felt like a lifetime. For sure. And I think, like Andy said, we're not just board brothers and sisters. You're definitely a sister. You're part of my family. We still talk. We still just, you've taught me how to be a better civil servant, understand, how the government works, what we can do, what is going to be challenging for us to do, but never stop the work that we need to do here for our students, for my kids, who eventually be coming to JUHSD, for this institution that is going to be here to stay. We are coming and going, through the years, but your impact will last definitely a lifetime. So thank you, and I'm glad to be here to be able to just sing praises to you as well, and I love you too.
I love you too, Carla. Thank you. And it's like closed session. I can't delve too much into it, but me, Rosie, and Carla went to Vegas one weekend. And it was school board members go wild. It was great. Janet Jackson. Yeah.
I love it.
I have video of Kalima singing every Janet Jackson song. If you all want to see it.
I'm sorry. I just want to point out that we should be referring to her as Miss Jackson.
Okay, next up, Karen Cunningham.
Oh, Karen, thank you.
Kalima, you are amazing. So I'm going to backtrack to June of this year when I was in court in Australia. And at the end of my hearing, the judge said to me, "You are in that part of California. Do you know a lady called Kalima Salahuddin?" I said, "Her name is Kalima," and yes, I do. So the work you guys did at 705 Saramonte doesn't just have local impact. You know that already. This judge in Sydney, Australia, knew who you were because of the work you guys did for staff housing here. I mean, it's gone everywhere. It's really gone everywhere. And I remember when you opened 705 Saramonte, those words ring in my ear almost every day. We were so sick of the teachers leaving great teachers leaving after 2 years because of their commute. And I sell you all the time about this program and what you have done for our community. Well, all of you, but that was so spectacular. And I will never forget what you did. But that judge in that courtroom in Australia knew you. She just didn't know how to pronounce your name.
That's okay.
Love you, dear.
Thank you.
I'm going to try not to mess up your last name, Shireen. Shireen Malakavsali?
Malakavsali. Oh, no. Thank you.
I also have more goodies in here, not just to look at.
Thank you.
My name is Shireen, and you did a great job, Malakavsali Taidi. I have added to the fun. So I just I am a parent in the Jefferson Elementary School District, and I begged Kalima if she might stay on, but she said 3-4 more years were against the bylaws. So I had to show up and just appreciate her for all that she has already done and will continue to do for our communities. I have to say that being here, I'm exhausted just hearing all that you do. I can't imagine just the fact of how much you put in. And I have to say, so hearing from everyone, I think one of the things that's so clear is that you somehow make everyone feel like you have time for them. You somehow make everyone feel special. And I just hope that you are blessed with half as much as you give, because you so deserve it. Now I'm gonna get, and I'm not a crier, but I first met you during COVID. We heard a little bit about that, but I also wanted to make sure you got your flowers for the fact that you didn't push and stop at literally just emergency responding yourself, but you stepped up and you said, we need a more equitable process and voice for the allocation of the federal ARPA dollars. And I continue now you have an email from me for a case study from the new school, because I still want to make sure you get the credit you all deserve for really pushing us as the county to do things differently than we have been doing. And that was a lot of money. So aside from all that you've done here, the county as a whole has so benefited from all of that contributions that you have made. And I just want to appreciate you. You somehow make my load lighter, and clearly somehow everyone else's, which I don't know how you do. But to me, I'm motivated because I know you're out there doing this work with me. I want to appreciate you. You're clearly a leader of leaders, which is very hard to do. You're a warrior. That's the word that kept coming up for me. A warrior with deep purpose, a warrior that implements her purpose with authenticity, humility, love, vulnerability, and somehow enormous power in your presence. And I just have a lot of gratitude and love for you. The generational relay race, as you talk about it, to get to this place of equity and justice is a long one. And I'm just so thankful for your absolute being, your heart, your soul, your dedication. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Yvette Yambao Walker? I've never say your second last name. I always call you Yvette Yambao.
You know, it's recorded, so I'm sure my husband would appreciate me saying it. Yvette Yambao Waiter. Dear Miss Kalima Salahuddin. Did I say that?
Yes, you
correctly?
did.
I'm a reluctant public speaker, but I wanted to represent, our counselors and the wellness team of our district, just to express our gratitude for your many years of dedication to our district on behalf of our students. I have a little receipt here that I wrote notes on. I started back in 2006 as an intern for our district, and then said yes to working at one of the biggest schools at the time. It was 1,800 kids, and I was the one. At the time, we were special service counselors, I believe, versus wellness counselors. Yeah, that was rough. And I'm sure Melissa Ambrose has shared this, right, with the district, with the board. We are just so grateful for all of your work and all the people behind the scenes, but I know you were part of that team to multiply us to 3 times 3 plus, right? I believe we're at 17 now, so from 5 to 17. So my nervous system is very grateful for that work that you've done in support of that. And of course, in support of our students' wellness. I know I've had the honor of working with one of your one of your kids. I just clearly remember you during when we were working on the parcel tax and really doing a lot of community organizing. And that was a few years later after I had started with the district. And I was so inspired by you and really intimidated by you at the same time. But it was great to just be boots on the ground and to really be what we were about. And so thank you for that. Yeah, I'm inspired by your courage to act. A lot of people said this, right? Your courageousness to act and to speak truth to power. That's something that I don't necessarily have in me all the time. I have, I get to be in my little office and I have the privilege of meeting with students one-on-one. But yeah, I'm always amazed by your ability to do that. So thank you. As a wellness counselor, I also want to tell you that it's okay to cry. A lot of people said it's, I don't want to cry. It's okay to cry, people. Okay. Our bodies are telling us to regulate. It's okay to do that. And to just receive that, right? To receive that gratitude humbly. And I also want to tell you that there have been people that say, I know this is not goodbye. We might have some other projects. It's also okay to say no. Okay? It's okay. Anyhow,
my family.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Maybe not all the time, but anyway. But thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Wellness here to remind us that it's okay to cry.
I was like, where is that coming from? I'm going to call up now Robin Amos.
What the heck? That's all I can say. And there've been so many words. I was sitting there and I was not going to talk because the people in here know me, there are many, I talk too much. So I'm going to try to, okay. There are no words, the words are filling the room. The words all about you, about who you are, about what you've meant to the district. And I don't want to be redundant. But my real question, the first one that kept popping up is, really, how many hours are there in your day? I'm curious. Do you have like some special sacred dispensation for hours? I don't know what the hookup is, but hook me up, okay? So I'm saying this to be a little light because otherwise it'll get like that, all right? So I'm just gonna say thank you. And as a staff person in this district for, as I tell the kids, since 1903, and they're like, oh, that makes you how old? I'm like, exactly, right? They're like, you can't be, no man, she's not 123, she's only, what? And so since I've been around that long, I will speak on behalf of, as a staff person, and I'll say what it's like from parcel tax and sitting there making phone calls, which I never thought I'd ever do before, to some things that you may not remember, your Bucks will remember, in the rain all over us, flipping burgers for robotics? Really? What the heck was that? And then we did it again. How many dishes have we washed together? How many, everyone said, and we've been to this meeting, and we've done this, and we've done that. And all I'm thinking is that standing in that little alcove with the rain dripping down our faces going, we got to get the burgers for the kids by lunch. And we're just like, what? So that's all of who you are and more. Your wonderful children and family, that what the heck? I'm speechless. I don't want to start bawling and doing that, but I want to say thank you. Because again, on the other level, working every day in our district and to see its growth and its change with my eyes, to see the vibe change when you go into the district office, to see the people that come to us to see how we're doing. It means a lot. It makes me really proud to be able to walk around with people from SF Unified, and they're like, oh yeah, you're working on housing. I go, what? Your shovel hasn't even been in the ground? What? Oh no, we're doing, really? And this is San Francisco? I'm in Daly City. What? What school district is that? Don't worry about it. We're on our second project. In our elementary school district, they've been inspired as well. So San Francisco, really? And I'll remember them because my kid was there for a minute, and I've never forgotten those board members crunching food in our faces as families while we had to wait for them. But that's another story for another day.
Yes.
I say this with all my heart and soul. You know I love you. That's redundant.
Yeah.
I love you, I love you, I love you.
you
Sit down and
too.
go, well, that's okay. But the change that you brought, the person that you are, that I'm finding out who you really, really are, and all these things, there are no words to, actually all the words have said them. And all I want to say is you've made me proud to be a staff member. You've made it just wonderful. And so the district, I'm not worried about the guys behind the seats because they've already shown who they are. And that's it. So that's my favorite quote from Maya Angelou, which is, once someone shows you who they are, believe them. From the first time I saw you, I believed you. And I believe you to this day. So thank you, Kalima Salahuddin. Saranio from K-Drama from the Kids. Thank you, thank you. I love you.
I love you
forever. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and we're going to wrap it up with Santa Johnson.
Oh boy. We're gonna change the time limits to one.
We haven't been timing them.
I appreciate that. I would say the best for last, but I think all these voices are best, and it's very much appreciative. Shout out to the Healthy Nose. And before I even say my speech, just letting folks know, we are going to be taking a 30-day boundary to where if you do reach out to Kalima starting tomorrow, she will not be responding. Please don't take it personal. 30 days, we're not responding to nothing. Thank you. So I'm gonna really make you smile because I'm gonna say, babe. Yes, I didn't say it. It's inside. If folks know I don't like to say baby and stuff when we're meeting, but babe, I am very, very proud of you. Besides the accolades we get, you're a DEI champion, you're an equity warrior, and all the amazing things folks are saying. I'm proud of you. Folks in here see the outside, I get to see the inside and the outside and how you prepare and you keep pushing. And I'm very proud. I'm proud to call you my partner. I'm proud to do this continuously journey with you. And I'm proud to say that, you're a phenomenal woman. Take that in. It's the flowers, it's the awards, but besides that, you're a phenomenal woman. This county is lucky to have you. You are a pillar and you're my pillar. And I'm very thankful for everything you said, you've done, and that you said will happen, and it came true. So remember when we have these talks, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, but remember this, and you said this, and it happened. And remember you was like this, and it happened. I mean, look at the housing, I'm gonna just say. But I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Keep it up. And we'll just take a little break for a minute until we try to look at the next journey. I'm not going to tell anybody, but we've been talking. So I think the voice is just telling you, what that level should be. So I'm proud to call you my partner and proud that I have such an amazing woman. And I have a package for you. And it's not like a trophy and all these things and all these proclamations, and we're appreciative. The plants too. Actually thinking how we're gonna get all this stuff in the car. That's different. But I have something that I think you should always have. And I wasn't gonna open it, but I told you I had a skit, so I'm going to open it.
Oh boy, I was really nervous about whatever. Okay.
So I showed them first, and then I show you. Because this is our self-care kit. So with the 30 days, you also get to have a lot of self-care. And you're going to take this. And I'm going to make sure I hold you to this self-care moment. And I'm showing this to the room so that they can ask if I'm holding you to this.
Oh, my God.
So this is what my skit and what I wanted to give for you. Besides the talks and everything, I'm very, very, very excited to see where this journey go and what are we going to do all this time. I have some ideas, but we got a lot of time. and maybe a lot of Disneyland things to plan. No more bags.
Okay.
All right. And I guess I'm the last speaker, but I do want to shout out Miss Yvonne, Kalima's mother, and her sisters are here as well, Brianna and Aaliyah. So just, this is family right here. And we appreciate y'all and everything that you've done with Kalima. And now it's her time to come back to us. And so I understand that, but great. Do y'all want to say anything? Okay. All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Before we break, there were a few people who asked that I relay their regrets. So Sandy McCulick, superintendent of Jefferson Elementary, wanted me to share her appreciation for your many years of service and her regrets for not being able to be here tonight. There were a lot of conflicting meetings I found out on this night. Sue Beckmeyer from Mayor Pro Tem, City of Pacifica, wanted me to convey her regrets and that she would be here in spirit. And Felicia Leong, I believe she's president of Daly City Colma Chamber, expressed her regrets, her sincere thank you for all the years of service and hard work accomplished. She said, "It has been a pleasure." So with that, oh no, yes, you get a chance. Okay. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Kalima, and then after Kalima, we're going to take photos and then have a little party. So it is your turn, Kalima, and you are not on a timer.
Okay, great. Thank you. So, first of all, excuse my voice. I am still getting over whatever this is I've had. It's not going away. David Bruto talked about me getting sworn in. And when I first got involved with the Jefferson Union High School District, I was a parent at the Pacifica School District, and we were running our parcel tax. And shout out to Lisa Davis right there. Me, Lisa Davis, and Matt were leading up the charge to run the Pacifica School District parcel tax, and we were watching Jefferson Union High School District try for the second time, and we could tell that it was probably going to fail. And so I talked to both of them, and I said, would you be willing? It's really hard because I'm constantly asking my friends to do things with me. And so I said, would you guys be willing when their parcel tax fails to join me, because all of our kids are going to end up in that district, and run JUHSD parcel tax right after we've just ran Pacifica School District's parcel tax? And they both agreed. They said, okay, we'll do it. And I reached out to the leadership of that time, and they said, right, if it fails, absolutely. And it did fail. And I got a call like the second day after it failed. Like, were you serious? Because we'll take you up. And then we said, yes, we'll definitely take it up. And I also, in going to get endorsements, this is how I got really connected to David Bruto. I reached out to Leland Yee to get the endorsement, and he knew about the first two, so he kind of laughed. And he said, sure, okay, I'll give you the endorsement for the third time, but I don't know why you guys are trying again. And I was like, oh, it's going to pass this time. And he said, well, if it passes, I'll swear you in. Yeah. Because he knew I was going to be on the school board. So he said, if it passes, I'll swear you in. So he swore me in. He came and swore me in. And at that time, the picture, you see us in the old school board room. And I remember walking into that, what I like to call the haunted house, for the first time. And you couldn't find the office, and people couldn't find where I was being sworn in at because it was kind of a maze and it was dark. And we didn't post the agenda for the school board meetings. And I had a conversation with Mr. Fuentes. That was another bet. He said, okay, I will ensure that the school board meetings get posted online if you win the parcel tax. I said, okay, fine. But we worked really hard and we got that passed. And to go to today where we placed a parcel tax on the ballot with minimal, hardly any work, and the community knows us well enough that it passed at 75%. Okay, and when it's so funny because I was thinking about saying this, I said, and then Andy will tell me what the correct percentage is. Because Andy and I, this is why we do so well together. Because I like set it up and then Andy comes right behind me and knocks it out of the park. He always has or I'm like, I think this is the thing. And I know that by the time I finish the statement, Andy will on his own without being asked, look it up and get the point, the statistic, whatever I need to finish the conversation. But that is what I hold on to when I think about the journey of the district. When I first started the district, no one knew there wasn't elections. People didn't understand that the school boards were two different. Jefferson Elementary and Jefferson Union High School District were two different entities. There wasn't people didn't have that connection to the school board and to the school district. So they didn't know if they could trust us in voting for a parcel tax. And to now see that they know us so well that we don't have to have that outreach and have a campaign. And I know the reason why I don't like these kind of meetings where I'm getting a lot of credit is that this work is so selfless. And at a lot of times you'll do something and somebody else gets the credit. But that's okay because the goal was to reach the goal, not to get credit for the work. And so I just try to train myself to not look for the credit because then I also won't be so affected when people aren't so thrilled with me. And that's also, there was more people in the room when people weren't happy with me than they are when they are happy with me. I just want to individually talk to a few people. So Ms. Basuino is over there, and we talk a lot about the parcel tax campaign. Ms. Basuino was there with me. We had two phone banks, one in Pacifica and one in Daly City. And Lisa and Matt ran the parcel tax, ran the phone bank in the Oceana Market. And Ms. Basuino and I ran the one out of the AFT offices, 1481. And I would show up after work and Doreen would be there before me and she would have gone to Costco and she had the pizza and she had the cookies and we were ready to go every single time. It was getting anyone to help us was a struggle. And Doreen was the one that introduced me because I didn't know the folks in JUHSD that much. So between Mr. Norris and Ms. Basuino, they were both giving me the introduction so I could ask for things and get money or get introductions. And I remember Doreen took me to meet with the sports boosters, the Terra Nova sports boosters. And Doreen was like, okay, I'm just gonna let you know, this is gonna be a tough meeting. This is going to be a tough meeting, but you got this, kid. Like, I'm here to support you. And then promptly went into the corner. But I knew that Doreen always had my back. And so I was in there. I was nervous, but I did it. And they donated. And Ms. Basuino, was the person when my first school board meeting, I was like, Kalima, you talk a lot. So we're not going to speak at the first school board meeting. We're just going to listen and take everything in. And then there was the presentation on suspensions. And the rationale for suspensions was because for the higher rate for African-American males was because their pants, they sag their pants. And I was like, all the boys sag their pants. Like, there's so much to unpack in that statement. And to go for my first board meeting when I knew that we were going to be okay and be able to have these conversations, Ms. Basuino was the first person in the administrative role to have my back and speak up and defend what I was saying. And so, I'm super appreciative of you and of everything that you've done for me. And then over there also is Miss Van Raphorst. And I'm trying to get through this. And I know Tina forever, and she was my daughter's middle school principal. And I was so thrilled. Like we needed when Rosie and Andy, and when we're on the board and we made the pivot and we had to move on from our superintendent, and a lot of staff left. And we were like, oh my God, like, are we gonna be okay? Because so many people resigned after we made the pivot. Like we knew we needed a new leader, and a lot of people didn't want to come with us. And one of those people that left was our CBO. And when Ms. Van Raphorst stepped up and agreed to be our CBO, like I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. And we are. I can do this work because I was freed up of not having to worry about our budget and our finances being taken care of in the way that they need to be taken care of. I could have conversations with our educators about other things because the trust in what we were doing with the budget had been restored, and people believed in us and understood our budget story. And I could have those conversations about and understood at what happened in Pacifica School District and carrying that up and telling that story. So that's again why the community trusts us, because, you know, one of my favorite things, and Hector knows this and other people have known, I love to go to state or national school board meetings and like, look at what my administrators do for me. You know, it's just phenomenal how you prepare me so that I can advocate for us. And then the work that you've done, your full-time job is the financial stuff, but none of the housing and none of the development at Ceremony, none of that would happen if it wasn't for the tireless work of Wonder Woman over there, Ms. Van Raphorst, and all of the things that she did, and that we just cleared the pathway so that she could do the work. So I'm super grateful. And then Ms. Baca, I was not fortunate enough to go to college, and I consider like a lot of this work here is like my secondary education, and Ms. Baca has been one of my greatest teachers. The work that she does with our LCAP, our local, like here we go with the acronyms, this Welcome to Education. So our local control accountability plan, and those are some of the most fun meetings that I have. I love sitting down and listening to and talking to and asking questions and having a back and forth with Ms. Baca about our strategic plans and her thoughts about what we can do in terms of curriculum, and the vulnerability and the transparency and the willing to try and think about new things and not just dismissing what I'm saying off the bat, but actually taking it in. And so one of the things that wasn't on my resolution, but I'm most proud of, is writing the equity policy for the district, and then seeing, because we have access to our accountability plan in real time, seeing Ms. Baca start making the transition and changing things almost instantaneously. I'm so appreciative of you and everything that you've done for this district, and I'm gonna miss the three of you so much. So thank you. I want to say to, so over here to the second most important Dana in my life, Miss Lujan. I've known Miss Lujan as a school board member in South City School District, and that's where and also was a teacher at Sunset Ridge Elementary, where my kids went to school. And so I've known her for so long, and I've known like the dream of wanting to move out from the district that she was in. She worked as an educator and at night as a school board member, and wanting to move out of the district that she was in. And to be able to know that the dream was fulfilled here is what fills my heart with such joy. And to watch everything that you've done and watch you grow has been amazing. And then Miss Shreve, so there's so many things that Denise has done, but the best thing in my opinion is her daughter. Her daughter was a former student trustee here and was one of the things that inspired me to push harder to make sure that we expanded the role of student trustees, because her daughter is a firecracker and just really utilize the role in a way I was like, this is what it's capable of doing. This is what it's capable of doing. But on top of that, our career technical education program and now being in charge of our housing is phenomenal. So all our administrators at work that I work really closely with at the district office, I want to thank. And then, of course, Tony, Superintendent Presta. It has been hard as a school board member. The school board role is really challenging in that our job is to create friction. Our job is to test everything to make sure it's suitable before it goes out. And that's hard. You know, I don't want to make folks feel like I'm causing extra trouble or making extra work, but I just want to make sure that before it goes out to our students or before it is where our teachers are asked, our staff are asked, or anyone's asked to implement something else, that it is worthy of them. And to be able to have those frank conversations with the superintendent, you're the first superintendent I was able to do that with and feel and like I have a safe space and trusted and that my words aren't going to be used against me later or that it was going to be taken in the intention that it was given. And I can't thank you for that enough because I wouldn't be able to get this praise and all of the accolades if I wasn't given the space to do the work. So thank you. And then for all of my board colleagues, past, present, and future, that, Marty's coming to take my seat. I'm so proud of the work that you have done and that you will do. And, if anything, I just hope that the only regret that I have are the things that I didn't say. And then I go home and think, I should have spoke up. I should have said that. And so I hope that you are able to push past that fear and say the things that need to be said. And I'm so proud of all the work that we've done. And I'm so proud of the work that you all will do. And we're all going to hang out. We're all going to hang out and we're still going to be close. And so thank you for supporting me. And we did great work together, and I'm super proud of us. And then to all of the educators of Jefferson Union High School District and to all of our union members and our union leadership, I'm gonna also thank my family in a second, but I'm just calling out 3 of my sisters are former educators themselves. 2 are here and 1 isn't. And I just wanted to be that trustee or that school board member that I wish my sisters could have had. Because you guys are all somebody's family. And it is one of the hardest jobs in the world to be the shepherds and the stewards of other people's children. It's a tireless job. It's a thankless job for all of our people on our school sites, for the site leaders down. To be able to have a glimpse of what you go through on a daily basis. I had no choice but to work as hard as you worked, to be what you guys are all every single day. And it still hurts my heart that public education isn't held up to the reverence that it deserves. A lot of these accolades that I got, I shouldn't receive. We shouldn't have had to build housing, right? We shouldn't have had to pass multiple parcel taxes. But we did what we have to do because if we don't do it, it doesn't happen. We have no help here. If we are not our own solution, then there is no solution. And so I just call on all of us to continue to work together because if we don't have each other's backs, no one has it. And then the last thing that I want to do is just to say thank you. Without Jefferson Union High School District, I wouldn't have the job that I have today because one of the stories that I was written about in for, I think, the housing. I don't remember which one, but the CEO of our company saw it and said, why don't we have her doing that stuff here? And they switched my job. I wouldn't have met Hector, and he's one of my best friends now. And Clayton, Clayton too. No, just always tease Clayton. I've met some of my best friends have come from doing this job. I wouldn't have met the love of my life, Dana, if I hadn't been a JUHSD school board member. And I know it says that I was a single mom, but JUHSD helped me raise my kids. I mean, one of my favorite memories is I was dropping my son off at Terra Nova, and I was like, oh, he's not going to say goodbye. You know how they are. And then you got out of the car, and Miss Pesquino was like, say goodbye to your mom. Say goodbye to your mom. So, and to see so many people fight for my kids and be the mama bear that I would be for my children in so many different areas, that freed me up so that I could do the work that I do. And the last thing I want to say is my mom is here. My mom has been introduced. My mom, this is probably where I get, my mom also hates public acknowledgement. But my mom raised 5 of us as a single mom, all 5 of my sisters. And my sister Aaliyah is getting her doctorate at Stanford, and my sister Rihanna is a business owner. And it was so funny, like Dale Scott, who is our bond person and does most of our bonds, he was like, is Ray your sister? And I said, yeah. He goes, oh my God, I'm in her exercise class. She's amazing. And my sister Fatima was a teacher in Oakland Unified and now teaches teachers at Berkeley. And my sister Sophia is an amazing accountant. And I say all this because my mom showed me what's possible. My mom showed me that you never give up and you push through. And when we were living in public housing, and she had to have a job, and she went to school at night to take care of all of us, and she never gave up. And so I love you so much, Mom, and everything that I do, I just want you to be proud of me. And to show you that I learned so much from you. And I'm so thankful for the role model that you've been for all of us. And so everyone's like, who are you competing against? I'm like, no, I'm my sisters, right? It's so hard. Like, I was like, oh, I got inducted into the Hall of Fame. And then my sister got accepted at Stanford 2 weeks later. And I was like, come on, Aaliyah, like, give me some time. Like, but we were raised as Muslims, and my mom told us the first thing that Allah said to the Prophet Muhammad was, Iqra, read. The importance of education in our family is huge, and that's why so many of us are involved. That I'm here, one of the reasons that I'm here is that my mom taught me that the education is the pathway, and I just want to ensure that everyone benefits from that, the gift of knowledge and the knowing. And it hurts my heart that when I'm leaving this seat, that our nation is in such a state of unrest. But what gives me hope is the work that we do here and the students, and that hopefully we'll give the tools to the next generation so they can build a better future. So I am entirely grateful for the Jefferson Union High School District. I know there's been a lot of talk about what I've done, but being a school board member here has completely changed my life for the better, and I'm entirely grateful to all of you. So thank you all so much. Thank you. Okay.
So
We're going. Oh, maybe he's not on. We're going to go and have some treats, but before that, I want to make sure that we take a picture over here. But everybody, please go on out, and there's coffee and cakes and cookies. So we're going to adjourn to the cake and cookies. It's 8:58.
reconvene us at 9:32. All right. So regular sessions, communications, board report. If you guys have anything,
I have nothing.
there we go.
Nothing.
Cool. Good.
I have nothing to report.
Okay, you good too.
I have nothing.
Okay, great. Superintendent report.
Do our student trustee would like
Oh,
to?
sorry. It's one student trustee. Didn't see you over there because it's hard. Oh, there you go.
It's okay. So nothing much is going on at Jeff. On Wednesday, we're just having our final flag football game tournament. That's exciting. We're gonna have a band concert the December 6th and December 7th. So we're preparing for that. And I feel like that's it.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you. Go ahead, Miss.
Thank you. I have nothing to report.
Anybody have anything to report on the subcommittees? Fantastic. Turning it over to AFT Local 1481.
Good evening, board members. I'm here. Well, Monica Casey couldn't make it. She's traveling or just back from traveling, but she wants to extend her thank you to you, Kalima. I think it's more appropriate that I talk now because I remember when you first came on the board, I was one of the few people in the back live blogging before any of this was happening. And that's the only way the outside really knew what was going on. I was live blogging as a union member, also a staff member. And a couple things came to mind is when you first came on, and this is kind of more for the students, when you want to start something, you start small. And Kalima started off with, once or twice she'd get an acknowledgement on the board. And then all of a sudden people would start to agree with her. She would agree with somebody. Well, that's a big shock because she would agree with somebody else. and then somebody would agree with her. And then, and the big moments came when Rosie and Andy came on the boards. And so it was not so much of a shocker. And one of the funny things was in the live blogging, we'd always say, did Kalima start to cry yet? Were there tears? And so it's just been a pleasure watching you, how you built coalitions. And it was an amazing thing to watch because I did that for about 2 or 3 years, I think, just coming and sitting in the back in these empty rooms and just blogging and asking people to explain stuff and how you would always leave people with room for dignity in your disagreements. And I really appreciated that. And I guess a legacy to all the hard work, not only you, but also the board and everybody is, I didn't even know that was a parcel tax on this last election. Because I do remember Doreen's Pizzas and the phone calling and stuff like that. It's like, and so, and just again, the inspiration that you had for me, for myself, in that if you could show up and do the phone calling, why can't I? And more teachers could do that. And if you could even get admin to come to the union office, as Doreen did, to make phone calls, why can't we? And so that's just the growth of it. So as a member of AFT 1481, we want to thank you very much for your service to the and for service to all our staff. And thank you. Wish you the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, super proud to have worked alongside 1481 all these years. It's been amazing. Okay, moving on to consent agenda. Unless anyone has anything they would like to pull, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
A second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving on. Let's go down to our action items. Oh, am I missing?
Discussion.
Sorry, yeah.
11A1.
Sorry, 11A1. There we go. Moving on to discussion, our board organization meeting, and I think I'm turning it over to you, my computer.
Yeah. No, it's all good. So we need to have the board reorganization meeting listed as a discussion item on the meeting that immediately precedes the meeting where we're going to do it. So that's pursuant to Ed Code 35143. In a year in which a regular election for governing board members is conducted, the reorg meeting shall be held on a day within a 15-day period that commences with the second Friday in December, following the regular election. So the day and time of the reorg meeting shall be discussed and selected by the board at its regular meeting held immediately prior to the first day of the 15-day period. So we've proposed that the date and time of our reorganization meeting this year to be held on December 17th at 7 p.m. The board should discuss and determine if this is mutually agreeable date and provide direction to me, please.
So I think if anyone has an issue with the date and direction that was given in the content, we could go ahead and recommend that we move forward with what the superintendent suggested.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is it important that we all are there?
Yes, I think it's important that you're there.
Definitely. If you can be there, yes, be there. Because depending on what you do with the reorg, when you swear in the new trustee, the new trustee is new, so they're going to be a little confused. So the more people we know that know what to do, the better. That makes sense?
So I'm just having an aha moment that one of our trustees said they might not be able to make it that night.
Yeah.
It's very hard to meet all of the legal requirements. And so it does need to be held on this date to meet those requirements. If it's at a regular meeting. So I think if somebody can't be there.
Or if more than two of you can't be there, I think that's where I'm talking about.
Yeah.
One is okay, but if two are out, then that's going to be probably a little bit of a problem.
Right. We need to have that quorum.
Yes.
For sure. And ideally, at least 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, the new board member is doing it. You guys remember the new one.
Exactly.
Correct.
Knowing to vote, when to vote, what to say is going to be challenging.
So I'm fine with that date.
Is everyone okay? Or we're going to have at least 4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Works for me.
All right. So we're good to go. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you.
Yay, thank you. Okay, now moving on to item 12, action items. So first one is a board policy update, BP 9121, Superintendent Presta.
Thank you. So we're recommending that we approve the updated bylaw to remove the eligibility requirement that in order to be nominated for board president, the board shall only select for members who've completed both Masters in Governance training and President's Workshop as offered by CSBA. So we'd like to just remove that line.
Okay. Any questions or discussion before we vote?
I'll just say that I think it's smart for us to do that at this time.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. And I move to update the board policy BB 9121 as presented.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Moving on to the next item, which is Resolution 2023-2024/10, resolution in support of undocumented students, trans, non-binary students, and their families. Superintendent Presta.
Thank you. So due to the rhetoric expressed in our recent national elections, many of our district's students and families have expressed fear and concern owing to their immigration status, sexual orientation, or gender identity and expression. In light of this, the district wishes to reaffirm its commitment to supporting all of its students and families, explicitly raising education and awareness around those who are undocumented and those who identify as trans or non-binary. I recommend that the board approve this resolution as presented. And I'd also just like to thank President Salahuddin for bringing this to, bringing it up, that it was important to write this resolution. And then I'd also like to thank President Salahuddin because I took a stab at writing it and she made it way, 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 way better. So thank you.
No problem. So I'm very happy, proud that this is one of the last things that I'm able to do before I leave the district. And I'm just going to read the whole thing. I know it's late, but I feel like it's really important to go through it all. The resolution in support of undocumented students, trans, non-binary students, and their families. Resolved by the Board of Trustees of the Jefferson Union High School District in the County of San Mateo, State of California, that whereas the district is committed to fostering an environment in which all students are able to learn and excel, whatever their national origin, ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, ability, gender, or socioeconomic status, and whereas in light of recent developments in rhetoric throughout the course of the recent national elections, many of the district's students and families have expressed fear and concern owing to their immigration status, sexual orientation, or gender identity, and whereas the California Constitution, Article 1, Section 28F1 states, all students and staff of public primary, elementary, junior high, and senior high schools and community colleges and universities have the inalienable right to attend campus, which are safe, secure, and peaceful. And whereas the U.S. President-elect has committed to deporting up to 3 million U.S. residents, and this deportation plan could likely include many law-abiding students and community members within the JUHSD school district. And whereas the U.S. President-elect spent millions on political ads attacking trans citizens and made rolling back trans rights a key issue of his campaign. And whereas the district seeks to make clear its commitment to support all of its students and families, explicitly raising education and awareness around those who are undocumented and those who identify as trans or non-binary. And therefore, it is hereby resolved that the district will not collect information regarding students and families' immigration status when enrolling students. Be it further resolved that when the district or any of the district school sites receives a request for information that implicates individual privacy rights, including with respect to immigration status and religion, the district shall take all legal permissible actions to protect the privacy rights of its students and families. Be it further resolved that in particular, the district will not release information regarding immigration status or related matters contained in pupil records to federal agencies or other authorities enforcing immigration laws without the permission of the student's parent or guardian or pursuant to judicial warrant, subpoena, court order, or otherwise required by law. Be it further resolved that the district will work closely with any other local government agencies and community groups to ensure that all students and families, including those undocumented, can receive education in a safe, supportive environment. And be it further resolved that a federal effort to create a registry based on any protected characteristic, including national origin or religion, should be antithetical, I'm really sick and I can't talk anymore, I know, to the United States and California constitutions and the values of the district, and the district shall take all legal permissible steps to resist such a registry. Be it further resolved that the district will oppose any effort to create federal laws, policies, or practices that require school districts to cooperate with federal agencies and immigration personnel in any way related to immigration enforcement action. And be it further resolved that the district shall allow students and staff to use requested names and pronouns without requiring a legal name change or medical diagnosis, provide equal access to all programs and facilities, including access to bathrooms and locker rooms facilities as needed for all students and staff that align with the students and staff members' gender expression, and provide at least one gender-neutral bathroom per site. Respect the privacy of all staff and students who are in transition, and allow students to participate in all physical education, athletics, and other extracurricular activities according to their gender identity without requiring legal or medical documentation. Be it further resolved that the superintendent is directed to work with district staff and council to develop policies and procedures implementing and advancing these principles. So I'm very, very proud that this is the school district that I call home, and that this is one of the last things that I get to do as I step down as a school board member. So opening it up for any other comments or questions.
I just have a quick comment. So I agree with this policy. I like it a lot. I enjoy reading it. I think it maybe is more important that I work with people who think about things like this and bring them to our attention, have us make resolutions. So thanks for everyone who worked hard on this.
Yes, go ahead, Daly.
I just want to say I was like reading as you were speaking, and it was just like heartwarming. It was amazing to know that there's actually people who care and who take in consideration how people feel for things that are like such as the presidential election. Like people just say like, okay, it is what it is, but others don't see like how certain like people take it and don't see they're being pointed at. And I'm just grateful that this is my school district, because now it's a safe place. If it was before, now it's way better. And yeah, I just, as a immigrant myself, like I migrated here, I just like, feel connected to this. Like, it's like, thank you. Like, many people don't see the side of why people migrate to the US. And I see it as people come here for opportunities. And education is a big opportunity. And being scared that your opportunity will be taken away, it's like a big fear that won't let you sleep. And now this is just like, they can go to sleep, everything will be fine. Thank you to our amazing district. Thank you.
Oh, I can't follow that, but thank you for sharing that. And also, I think it's just so appropriate that this is one of the last things you're going to be able to pass while you're here on the board. Thank you.
No, that's my pleasure. And I just want to piggyback off of the opportunity. Opportunity is limitless. And that we don't need to be afraid that one person's opportunity is going to limit yours. And I know there's fear around finance, and that finances can be seen to be finite. But look at what we've done as a school district with such limited resources. We have made it possible to serve everyone. We just the possibility when you take into heart that opportunity is not finite, what you're able to do. And so I hope that more American citizens will learn that lesson. And when they're making decisions about who their elected leaders are, not like let the fear of lack of opportunity control so much of their vision and their direction and how they make decisions. So.
Well, I just want to add, it's really just, I love this resolution, but it's also just sad that we have to have it. That we live in a society that actually has chosen the tact to attack people in our community, the people that look like us. And that's really sad and distressing. And I just want to stand in the gap for our students, for our community. And this is the way that we stand against oppression and authoritarianism. Right here, starts right here at home.
Absolutely.
And for myself, just thinking about this, it just kind of ties into what a lot of people said tonight about our leadership here and what our, the leaders of leaders do, like you, Kalima, and standing up for people, having their backs, and as a district doing the same thing. It's going to be really important moving forward that our community understands and feels comfortable with knowing that we have their back and we have their kids' backs. And so it makes me really proud to, put this resolution into effect here tonight and see it through and make sure that I could have their back too. So thank you.
Bravo. So with that, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much. Moving on, for student services.
I'm with you, D.
Moving on to board policy update. These are all different updates that I believe, and I'll turn it over to Associate Superintendent Basquino, but I'm assuming that these are all updates that we can maybe just take as one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if anyone needs to pull anything out for review, but these are all just more legal updates, recommendations of changes that we need to make to board policy. So if you want to approve as a package.
Yep. Move to approve BP 49, 40, all three of those.
Yeah.
B1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any future agenda items anyone wants to discuss, add? Nope. Okay. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Hold on a sec. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Very sorry.
Bravo.
12B2, 12B3, we don't need to vote on?
We did it all together as one.
Okay, I thought we were doing 12B1 all together.
No. Yeah, we did the motion.
B1,
as-
B2, and B3. Did you want to pull any one of those?
No.
Okay, yeah. We voted on B1, B2,
Aye on
B3.
all three.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you.
Okay. Any future agenda items anyone wants to future board president to consider? MVP. Oh, all right. Okay, so now a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn the final board meeting of President Khalima Salahuddin.
I object.
I didn't want to jump in with a hot second.
Second.
Let it breathe. Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.